denials. But Sondland, it has to be pointed out, the body language is of a man with nothing to lose, liberated by the account he's telling. And by his side is a man, and I know you know him, Neil, a man with a track record of being by the side of people in this situation with a lot of jeopardy. I think at least one Democratic member of this committee had accused him of perjury based on his closed-door deposition. So there's a profile about him in the Washington Post. His spouse talks about how people need to just listen to him. I mean, I feel like there was some foreshadowing that when Mr. Sondland had his back against the wall, which he did this morning, the truth would come spilling out. And it has, and I described it as a blast radius when we had Garrett Haake on before. The blast radius has now blasted all over some of the accounts of John Bolton's conduct when it became known that the main channel, the Trump, Pence, Pompeo channel, was running an extortion campaign for the leader in the government of Ukraine to commit publicly to investigating the Bidens and 2016. We don't talk enough about 2016. The official channels also wanted to investigate something that 16 intelligence agencies said was phooey. So this is still sort of a boulder being thrown in the water, with the ripples now beginning to be felt around official Washington.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.